Hi, my name's Penny Green. This is the frontal bone. This are the supraorbital foramen or notches, parietal bone, the occipital bone in the back. The foramen magnum is this hole right here. The occipital condyle right here. The temporal bone is on the side. The external auditory meatus is right here. The mandibular fossa is right here where your jaw fits in there snug. The mastoid process is right here. The styloid process is right here. The zygomatic process to the temporal bone. The sphenoid bone is this whole thing right here. The greater wings is here. The lesser wing is here. And this is the sella turcica area right here where the pituitary gland sits. This is the ethmoid bone. The cribriform plate is right here, number 59. The crystal galli is right here, number 58. And this little part sticking out right there is the perpendicular plate. Now we'll go to the sutures. This front suture right here is the coronal suture. This is the sagittal suture. The ones on the side, can't really see really well right now on this thing. Hold on here. Maybe it's better on this side. Can't really see it, but it's the side suture right there. And then the lambdoidal suture is the one here in the back. Now to the facial bones. This bone right here, number 14 or 40, is the lacrimal bone. Then we move to the mandible, which is your lower jaw. This is the alveolar process, the angle of the mandible, the body of the mandible, the coronoid process. This is the head of the mandible, and this is the mandibular condyle right here. And then this is the mandibular ramus right here, and then these two little holes are the mental foramen. Okay, then move to your maxilla, which is your top jaw. This is the alveolar process. This is the these two holes right here, the infraorbital foramen. The maxillary sinuses kind of sit behind here, so you can't really see them, but they're there. And this is the palatine process. Your nasal bones here. Your palatine bone is right here. This is your vomer and your zygomatic bone. And then the temporal process to the zygomatic bone. And then the whole thing right here is the zygomatic arch. And then right here is the inferior conchae, these things right here. Okay, and then to the vertebral column. The first one is the atlas. This is the atlas right here. And then this is the axis, and this is the dens of the axis. So then I'm going to turn him around. And the first 7 vertebrae are the cervical vertebrae that include the atlas and the axis. The middle 12 are the thoracic vertebrae, and then the last 5 are the lumbar vertebrae. This is the sacrum, this whole thing right here, and then this little bones down here is the coccyx. Okay, then turn him back around. This whole thing right here is the sternum. This is the manubrium of the sternum, the body, and this is the xiphoid process. Okay, and the ribs, there's 12 pairs. The first 7 ribs are the true ribs. The last 5 are the false ribs, and then you have 2 floating ribs right here. And then this is the costal cartilage right here. Okay, then we're going to move on to the pectoral girdle. Okay, so this is the clavicle here. And then this is the scapula. This is the chromium process of the scapula. This is the coracoid process of the scapula. This is the glenoid cavity. This is the infraspinosus fossa, sorry, gosh. This is the spine. This is the subscapular fossa. Geez, my goodness, tongue-tied. And then this is the supraspinous fossa here. Okay, then we're going to go to the upper limb. This top bone, arm bone, is your humerus. This is the ulna here. And then this is the radius. And then these here are your carpals, your metacarpals, and then your phalanges. Okay, the pelvic girdle. Okay, the whole bone here is the coxal bone. This is the acetabulum. This is the obturator foramen. This is the ilium. This is the iliac crest right here. This is the greater sciatic notch. This is the ischium where you sit on your butt. This is the ischial spine right here. The ischial tuberosity. And then this is the lesser sciatic notch right here. Okay, and then go back to the skeleton here. This is the pubic arch. This is the pelvic brim. And then this is the pubis right here. And then the lower limbs. Okay, so this is the femur. This is the tibia. The smaller bone is the fibula. And then for the foot, you have the tarsals, the metatarsals, and the phalanges, just like your fingers.